welcome all of you to our session. This particular session is a part of our course which has been coded as MMPC-019, that is the Total Quality Management. Up till now, in the previous sessions, we have already covered up what is TQM, what is the requirement for TQM, how can we implement TQM, and what are the efforts needed on the part of not only management but also employee as well as stakeholders in order to implement TQM. And the benefits of TQM also we have seen. It is nothing but the satisfaction of customer, or customer focus is the important aspect. Now in the last part, that is block 5, we are looking at the various systems and standards. We know that after World War II, there was an urgent need by various nations to have a quality standard which will be accepted by all the member countries at least. So we had an organization which is still there, or it will be there for the future also, that is International Organization for Standardization. It provides the various standards, that means the framework for standards that will be applicable to all kind of industrial setups or all kind of service setups. Now, this International Organization for Standardization is headquartered at Geneva, Switzerland. They, through third-party agencies, that means they appoint third-party agencies who visit the organizations requiring the certification that yes, we are adopting ISO standards. The third-party agents verify all the aspects, then certification is given to the organization regarding ISO quality standard. Now this helps the organization not only to improve its process, the outputs, or satisfy the requirement of the customers, but also it tries to make the organization competitive in the international market. We know that in today's globalized world, for any business organization, world is a playground. So similarly, companies producing similar products or creating similar services, they also would be competing with the organization. Now, to beat this competition, you have to be up to date on quality aspect. Not only that, you require the continual improvement in the quality, and this is assured by ISO certificates which are given by third-party agencies. This will facilitate for easy trade between countries. That means from organization of a country can export its items to another country, and another country's company can accept it without any glitches, looking at what? Now the ISO certification. That means it gives an assurance that yes, these are of quality maintained items. Now in today's session, that is Unit 12, we shall be looking at a particular ISO series, that is ISO 14000 Environmental Management System. All of us know that the population of the world, which was there in 1950, we can take, has doubled at this point of time. That means which was taking centuries. That means the time frame has become so short. We can imagine the population is growing at a exponential rate. Now, this puts pressure on our planet Earth, which consists of land, water, and the air or the atmosphere. Now, if we look at environmental aspect, industries, when they are set up, they try to produce the items which will generate also some kind of elements, particles, anything we can say, which may damage the environmental things. So this particular ISO 14000 looks after the environmental management system in an organization. What it does, it provides a framework. Because the customer nowadays, they are also aware that if an organization is not having proper environmental practices, that means which is not damaging the earth, they are reluctant to go for it. A mindset is now being created that let us protect the environment. Otherwise, whatever are the natural resources, whatever is the pure water that we are finding, the pure air or the surrounding temperature, etc., they can be depleted, wasted, or damaged. So let us go into ISO 14000 Environmental Management System. Now, when we try to look at what we understand by environmental management system, what are the things which is forcing today's population to think about the environment, let us see. Business activities lead to depletion of Earth's resources and pollution of environment. Everyone knows this. We look at, suppose, the transportation business. Aircrafts are using the jet fuels, or you can say the aviation fuels. The commercial vehicles, passenger vehicles, bikes, trains, etc., they are also consuming the petroleum products. We know that the petroleum reserves of Earth are of limited nature. It has taken billions of years to be created, and we are using at such an exponential rate that some predictions are there that the petroleum reserves may be depleted to zero level within next 50 years. So for that, what we are finding now, it is the electric driven vehicles hydrogen powered vehicles, hydrogen powered cells, solar panels, etc. All of us can look around us, electric bikes, electric cars, the passenger vehicles like electric buses are coming up. Earlier, the railways were run by locomotives or the engines. In first case, they were using coals. Then they went on to diesel, all of which are taken from earths deep inside. That means they are taken out and limited in stock. But nowadays you will find most of the railway engines are run by electric. So electric driven engines are predominant now in India. But days will come when within a few years we will be getting hydrogen powered engines or locomotives. Think about a coal locomotive. That means a train engine which consumes the coal to have the steam power. Now what happens there? Not only coal is depleted, but also while burning the coal, lots of smoke is emitted, which creates pollution of the environment. Think of big industry. Look at the big chimneys that they have. We'll be finding they will be sending up the smokes filled with dust, other particles, etc., to the atmosphere. So, already we have seen the impact through the what we can say ozone layer breaches. Now, the ozone layer of the earth help to protect all the living beings of the earth from harmful UV rays. But since it has been breached at some certain points, what is happening? The UV rays are passing on or are being passed on to the earth. So we say business activities lead to depletion of earth's resources and pollution of environment. The major or the most important cause of that is the world's population. As we discussed just few minutes before, the population has doubled in the last 70 years. So around a little more than half a decade, the Earth's population has doubled, which earlier was taking centuries. So the population is growing at a very high exponential rate, and that is leading to pressure on the Earth's resources. During 1960s, when the population, you can think as of today, it was half of that. There was no environmental conscience. Everywhere, if we ask our ancestors if they are alive, they will be saying that everything was green. Most of the things were green, organic, and the environment was beautiful. The rivers were unpolluted. The groundwater is unpolluted. So, during 60s, there were no environmental concerns. However, due to deforestation, what happened? No, the amount of carbon dioxide being converted into oxygen, that started reducing. One of the major factor for that was the industries. So during 70s and 80s, when big industries were coming up at a rapid pace, they didn't have a look towards the environmental concern. They were telling environmental aspect is anti-growth to the industry growth. So they were having a opposite view. However, in 1972 United Nations Conference on Human Environment created World Commission on Environment and Development. So United Nations tried to adopt the protection of environment through the World Commission, which popularly is called as the Brundtland Commission. The commission published its first report, in 1987 as Our Common Future. So here the commission didn't look at a single nation. It looked at human race, humankind as a single thing, cutting across nations, boundaries or geographical separations. So what is the future ahead for the human race? United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, it had the Earth Summit, which was held at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in June 1992, and almost all of the nations, mainly the members of United Nations, which covered all the nations, they were of the view that enough is enough. Now let us put our foot down on protection of environment. Now, what is that environment management system? So it is the outcome of Earth Summit. Just now we talked about Earth Summit, which was held at Rio de Janeiro. The Agenda 21 said it is a worldwide commitment. As we said, all the nations tried to put foot down at the highest levels to move towards sustainable development. They said, yes, industrialization is okay. You can go for industrialization, but you have to take care of all kind of damages that may be caused to the environment. You have to take necessary steps to reduce it or to negate that to zero level. Yes, it may cost in the initial time, but in the long run, it will be very helpful. Matching with that, International Organization for Standardization, as we know, ISO, in 1996 came up with the 14,000 series that dealt with the environmental management system. What is that environmental management system? Now, it is a framework to manage environmental responsibilities in a systematic and structured manner. So it provided the framework how a organization should take up the responsibility and work towards achieving the environmental protection goal in a systematic and structured manner. What ISO 14000 does, it provides guidance on how to implement the environmental management system, how to maintain it, and how can we improve upon that. Now, when we are talking of environment, we talked about energy, water, materials, waste management, and transportation. So all these things were taken care of. Think about energy. Various energy sources are there, like the coal in the earlier days was used as fuel, etc. Then came the petroleum products, which provided energy. But now the focus is on tapping the clean, green, perpetual, natural energy sources like solar panels. Water. Many of us might have heard a few years back the Yamuna river looked like as if some kind of detergent has been mixed with the water. That means so much bubble was there on the surface of the water. The water was totally unfit to use. Similar thing was happening to Ganga also. Any big river you will find most of the industries for much of the earlier periods, they have used it as a right for disposing of their waste waters. What it has led to? The river water has been polluted, has been contaminated. Now, steps are being taken. Mass, we can say, movements are being done which will help to reduce the waste. Organizations are asked to take care of the wastewater. That means use certain kind of recycling the water, and whatever are the waste should be disposed of properly, and the clear water should be left to the river. Similar is the case of materials. Think of various materials. Iron ore for producing iron, bauxite for producing aluminum, gold, diamond. Maximum materials or almost all materials are taken up by digging the earth's surface. That means through mining process. And the stock of these materials, we can say, is fixed. That means it is limited. Once it will be over, will not get that, because it has taken billion of years for that to form inside the Earth's crust. Apart from that, we have other wastes that can come out of a industry, which has to be managed properly and transported to the proper place where they can be recycled. Most of us might have gone through the scenario almost all over in India nowadays. Use of plastic bags have been banned. Yes, still few are there who are illegally doing the thing, that means using the plastic bags. The motto is have your own cloth bag or jute bag, take it with you. Why this has happened? Now, in most of the cities across India, the major problem has become the earth's surface is full of plastic materials, which is non-biodegradable. That means once created, they cannot be degraded. They remain as it is. Thereby, what has happened? Now the Earth's crust has been damaged. Now, if a organization is undertaking environmental management system, what are the benefits that will come to it? First of all, we say nowadays many regulatory bodies have been created to take care of environmental protection. One can be pollution board, we can say, at state level or the national level. Another can be National Green Tribunal. That also takes care of the states as well as the nation. They have certain guidelines which has to be complied. That means the organization activities should be aligned along those lines. So if an organization is adopting environmental management system, then automatically it is complying to the legal requirements or statutory or regulatory requirements. Only to adhere to the requirements is not the basic purpose. Basic purpose is protect the environment. That is why you might be finding a particular aspect in company's balance sheet or activity of any organization, CSR, corporate social responsibility. That means they take care of the society with apportionment of profits. That means some part of the profit they spend for upliftment of the society, which includes the environment also. We can find it if we are moving around, look carefully on the roadside or on the middle of the road, you will be finding various plantation by organizations, various electric bikes, various cycles nowadays being used in many universities. Particular day they are observing as zero vehicle day. Either you walk or you cycle. Cycles will be available on free. In many cities, cycles are available for hire also. You can use them, move around. In developed nations like, we can say, uh, Netherlands, the most preferred mode of transport inside the city, the citizens use the bicycles. What it helps? Not only traffic congestion is avoided, but also the smoke, the grime, the smog, all the things are avoided. Many of us might have heard about the smog in winter days at IGI, Indira Gandhi International Airport at New Delhi. Now that smog is fog mixed with smoke or other particles. It creates such a hedge that it becomes difficult to have visibility for around 2-3 meters also. Not only that, they create health damage to the population. Those who are having lungs problem or breathing problem, they feel the most difficulty. So here, if an organization is taking up environmental management system, definitely the activities should be oriented towards protection of the environment. Now, we say that it will help us in cost. Cost savings will be done. How? Now, if we are damaging the environment, chances of hefty fines are there. But if you are adopting the best practices for protection of environment, definitely no fines etc. will be there for you. So you can save on the cost. As we said, the marketplace is now moving towards environmental friendly items, products or services. So organizations adopting environmental protection activities, they are finding a better acceptance in the marketplace. That means they make themselves more competitive. They move ahead of the competition. The environmental management system improves relationships with stakeholders. Now, who are the stakeholders? You can say the employees, the management that are internal, the owners, we can say the shareholders, they are also there. Government authorities are there. General public is also there. So, when you are adopting proper environmental management system, then relationship with the stakeholder also improves. Otherwise, many times we have seen activists will come forward if you are damaging the environment, and you may face situation like protests, shutdowns or clampdowns by government. So environmental management system, if the organization is adopting, it improves relationship with stakeholders. Now let us look at what are the basic or the core elements, that means what are the things that form the environmental management system. An organization should always have a proper environmental policy. Now, this environmental policy Jadi, ini juga tuh ini. Environmental management system. What are the elements of that? We look at what should be the environmental policy of the organization. What the organization wants in terms of protecting the environment. That policy should be laid down. So as we said, what are the environmental aspects that will be involved, and if any detrimental environmental aspect is there, what will be its impact, and how can we manage the impact. There also we look at what are the specific legal requirements, not only specific to the industry, but also the general legal requirements of the industry on the legal front. So looking at the policy, legal requirements, the top management set the environmental objectives, the targets to be achieved at various time periods, and the programs that should be run so that it can not only educate the employees but also the society who are involved. So management programs like workshops, like field visits, like conferences, etc., should be carried out. Then the requirement is prepare a environmental management system structure and divide the responsibilities. Here we cannot say that the environment is somebody else's responsibility unless and until it is clearly segregated and defined for each and every worker. Now for that we require proper training. When we are talking of training, we can say workshops, we can say short-term courses or long-term courses, we can say particular specialized programs conducted by various institutes regarding environmental protection, and creation of awareness. Nowadays, anywhere we go, we'll be finding definitely there will be dustbins. And dustbins, suppose you are moving through railway platforms or airports, the lounges, you'll find two different type of dustbins. One for disposable things, one for non-degradable or plastic things. Or in medical cases, you'll be finding 3 or 4 different colored dustbins where stickers will be there, what item to be put where. This creates a awareness Apart from that, we can go for slogan competitions, we can go for competition for school childrens who are the future of tomorrow. We can go for having the mass education program through conducting various programs, asking the top environmental protectionists to deliver talks that will create awareness among all. Now, this environmental protection aspect should be properly communicated to each and all in the organization. Now, our act doesn't stop. Suppose we set the objective, have the targets, fix the responsibility, communicate what one has to do, train them. Our thing doesn't stop there. The top management or the supervisory management or middle level management, they should constantly monitor how the activities that are related to environmental protection is being taken care of, and we try to measure them against certain standards or targets. How much has been fulfilled? Have we actually fulfilled the target in the given period of time? All these things have to be monitored and measured. Now, this is a thing which everyone should have an idea. What is the need for environmental management system? The basic focus of any organization nowadays is how to protect the environment, or in other words, how can we reduce the impact of our waste, be it water, be it solids, be it the air, how they are damaging the environment. What is the impact on the environment and how we can reduce it. Many of us might have seen in major cities nowadays the flow of wastewater, which were earlier being drained into various rivers. Now they are creating some kind of biotreatment plants, whereby the used water are cleaned and again brought back for reuse. That we call as water treatment plants. So many such examples we will be finding. Now the environmental regulations, as we said, regarding suppose Pollution Control Board or the National Green Tribunal, whatever are their regulation, we have to comply with them as an organization. How can we do that? Now by adopting proper environmental management system in the organization. Now when the activities of environmental management goes on, then our environmental performance improves. That means we have less and less impact, that means damaging impact on the environment of what? The earth's crust, that means soil. We can take water or water bodies, we can take atmosphere or the air. All these things, the impact will be reduced. environmental management system helps in cost savings. We know that small steps, if we take at the right time, then it saves us from a big expense on a future date. So go on a continual basis for activities involved with environmental protection. If you or we don't do it as an organization, what will happen? Now, the time will come when a major problem will occur, like suppose clamp down by government, hefty fine by NGT, or shut down as ordered by Pollution Control Board, which will increase only the cost of the organization. So we can avoid that through environmental management system, thereby increasing the cost savings. We know that in the marketplace nowadays, we are having customers who are actually concerned about environment, and this proportion is increasing day by day. They are going for products or services which are environmental friendly. All of us might have heard in India, we have a big occasion called as Diwali, where firecrackers etc. are being lighted. It creates lots of poisonous gas which contaminates the air. For that, the legal framework or regulation has come up to use the crackers or the crackers to be made as green crackers. That means which will not harm the environment. All of us might have heard in the capital region of New Delhi, it has been banned to firecrackers because so much pollution is created that it covers whole of Delhi for around 4-5 days, like night has occurred. So it has been ordered by the regulatory authorities, no firecrackers can be sold or fired in the region of Delhi. So if we are going for environmental protection system, taking activities which are actually helping to protect the environment, customers definitely will demand our products or services. That increases our competitiveness in the marketplace. We know that stakeholders can be internal as well as external. Internal can be the employees, the management, etc. Think about internal employees working in, suppose, a steel plant. There, the workers working near blast furnace, the furnace is the chamber where the iron ore are melted down to get the iron out of that. It creates a huge temperature there. You have to wear the protective dresses. Not only that, it generates lots of smoke. So, how can we reduce that smoke? What kind of activities will help to reduce that smoke, not only inside the factory premises, but also the thing that goes outside of the factory? Look at any of the steel cities in India, be it Bokaro, be it Raulkela. one will be astonished to find that the pollutant smoke given out by the plants, they carry black dust, and for a certain radius near the plant you will find houses covered with that smoke, that particles, and that particle also remains in the atmosphere, and if it enters human body it can create various kind of breathing troubles. So to avoid this kind of conflicts with stakeholders, be it internal, be it external, let us go for activities for protection of environment. And ultimately, it will help the organization to earn the reputation that yes, the organization is thinking about future. It is not about making profit today. It is thinking about how Earth will be protected in the future along with its natural resources. Now, what is this ISO 14000 standard? As we have said, International Organization for Standardization, 14,000 is just a number series, nothing else. It is only to identify that yes, this is the framework for environmental protection. So ISO 14000 is the environmental management standard for achieving and maintaining sound environmental standards. So under ISO 14000 we have ISO 14001. It specifies what are the requirements of the environmental management system. Then we have ISO 14004, which prescribes the guidelines for the activities to be adopted by the organization. Then we have a series of ISO 14000, that is ISO 14010 to ISO 14015, which talks about environmental auditing and related activities. Now, when we are talking of auditing, we are concerned about how much wastes, effluents, smokes we are sending to the environment. What is the impact? How much was our target? So, are they being fulfilled? So that is auditing part. Then we have another series, that is 14020 to 24, that is environmental labeling. Then we have 14031 and 14032, which prescribes how to evaluate the environmental performance. Then we have series of 14040 to 43, which says about life cycle assessment. And finally 14050 tells about the various terms and definitions. Now, how can we have ISO 14001? Have a steering committee, have the policy, then look after what are the legal requirements. Then prepare the document or the manual which will help you to carry out the environmental management system. Then go for its implementation in the organization. Conduct internally the various audits and also undergo external audits. Measure them and review the results and go for continual improvement. What are the considerations? Discharge of wastewater, air emissions, contamination of land, waste management, depletion of natural resources like forest, etc., regulatory issues, risk management, and environmental management programs. Now, environmental management system are involved in various activities of the organization: marketing, design and development, the production or the manufacturing, the finance, and when you go for projects in the interior areas, etc., chances of damaging the forests, etc., will come forward, and management of distribution. So, management has a big role to play in environmental management system. So this is all we have in our discussion about environmental management system. And in order to become successful, we have to protect our environment. Thank you.